Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of BeBelle podcast. Well, this lady does everything that her business says on the tin. She is unbelievable. She's an absolute light when she walks into a room. She's fantastic on social media. I love spending time with her. And when I asked her onto the podcast, I said, only if I get to spend some time with you after. So welcome today to Miss Amazing Feebee Foran. Okay, it's September and it's that time of the year that we're trying to get everything together because Q4 is around the corner and the end of year is imminent. This is the time when we're starting to find all of our inventory, our invoices, when we really want to be getting on with looking after our business. And so this is where Revolut Business comes in. Revolut takes all the hassle out of all the point of sale. You can accept payments in the same place you're doing business banking, whether selling in person or online. They offer competitive and transparent pricing with prices starting from as low as 1% or 20 cents for online payments. And payments can be accepted by all major credit cards. So American Express, Visa, MasterCard, or the digital wallet. And guys, the best part is you get your money quickly. Within 24 hours of taking a payment, it's going to hit your bank account. So less stressful and super easy. Everything is linked up so you can organise and manage your cash flow with zero stress and get back to what really matters for you, which is running your business. Our exclusive offer for BeBelle listeners expires at the end of this month. So sign up now at www.revolut.com/RB/BeBelle to unlock a €200 bonus. So let Revolut Business look after the money so that you can start putting your time into where is important, and that is running your business and growing it. The offer is valid to all new business customers in Ireland. Sign up before September the 30th, 2025 and add money to your account to get your bonus. T's and C's apply. Feebee, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so delighted to be here.
Well, do you know what? I'm actually quite excited because I've been wanting you on for ages. I think we first met, it's got to be 3 years.
It must be.
It was at Showcase.
Oh my
first
gosh,
time.
that's where it was. I was thinking, because we've met at a number of different events, and even on the way here, I was trying to figure it out. Our paths keep crossing.
I know.
We're destined to meet.
We were destined to meet. I remember saying to you, actually, you can come on, but only if you can come for coffee with me afterwards, because I'll be coming all the way from Cork and I need to spend more time with you.
I was expecting dinner and wine.
Okay. Well, we can do that too. I just have to come up again, which is fine. But listen, thank you so much for being here. BeBelle is all about looking after ourselves. It's all about the businesses. It's all about the people behind the businesses. And I'm always interested in how they became who they are. And so for you, where did it all begin?
Forager has a bit of a story, all right. So I'm the owner of Forager. That's my skincare brand, natural skincare brand. And I suppose it's steeped in my past. It's steeped in everything that I've done to date.
Yes.
And if you were to ask me though, way back when, do you think you'd ever be an entrepreneur or own a skincare brand? Absolutely not. This was never in my ether. But when I look back and I think, gosh, like of all the things that have happened in my life, it's all led me here. It's like one of these strange little serendipitous things.
But I think that's true for more or less for most.
Yeah.
Because there's like the amount of people that I speak to actually that have done a 360 from something that they really were passionate about, loved as a child or whatever, and brought it through. For you, obviously, like
it came back full circle.
Yeah.
Like I was brought up with parents who were absolutely nature mad. So my mum was, and still is to this day, obsessed with the stars. Like there were nights we had a mobile home down in Wexford and we would lie out on the grass at night time and she would be able to point out all the different stars to us. So she was always fascinated by the sky, whereas my dad was of the earth.
Okay.
He was a great huntsman. And when I say that, he would have gone fishing and he would have done all sorts of rabbiting and stuff like that. One of my earliest memories, and I know people kind of cringe a little bit when I say it, but it was a different time. One of my very earliest memories is of like coming down the stairs on a Saturday morning in my jammies, sleep in my eyes, and there being a board with bunnies hanging up by their ankles where he'd gone out and been hunting overnight. But the thing is, he would come home from these excursions and he would only hunt for food. So this is what we ate it. It wasn't anything it wasn't trophy or any, it was a very sustainable way of
that's how we used to live.
That's how we used to live. And he would come home and he would tell us all these stories, me and my brother. I've only got one brother, Emmett. And he would tell us all the stories of things that he'd seen that day when he was fishing and like that, kingfishers, badgers, foxes and all. And for me, and I tell the story quite a lot because it is part of who I am. I wasn't brought up with fairy tales of princesses being saved by princes. I was brought up with nature as the fairy tale. This was my life. This is what was magic to me, that once the world got dark, nature came to life and these animals would come to life. And I found that absolutely fascinating. And so and like that again, he would have us draw pictures of plants, and we would think we were just, putting a page over a colour book and tracing things. We would have been drawing and colouring and creating the shapes of plants and not realising it, but we were actually learning the contours of plants. I remember
as a kid, you have your plain piece of paper, the leaf underneath, and then you get your crayon and
So, and these are things that we all did.
Yes.
But we would have done it. And I suppose for me, it actually led to something completely different in my later years. Now, when I was in my teen years, I absolutely totally got distracted from nature, completely got distracted from nature. I had the blue mascara. I'm a child of the 80s. Blue mascara, all of the eyeliners, purple lipsticks, and going out disco dancing like a maniac. So nature kind of took a back seat. But it was always there. It was always a bit of a fascination for me. I've always felt that, like, I've been that person that, and like most people, when you have a stressful day like that, going out into nature, and I've never been an exerciser. It's never really been a thing for me. I had giant boobs until last year, and I feel like that, and exercise was hard for me.
Yeah.
I had my breasts reduced. Yeah, well, I had my breasts reduced last year, but up until then, I found it very hard to exercise. But I can tell you that being in nature, even if it was just walking or having my feet off, my shoes off, and my feet in the sand, and and if I was down in Wexford or in grass, I felt different with nature.
And that's that grounding piece, isn't it?
It's a circadian rhythm,
Yeah, I was down in, do you know Mountain View Markets in Kilkenny? So
fabulous.
Bea that runs that, I'm a massive fan. And I was chatting to her on Sunday, and she was saying, I know, we were chatting about what things that we do to make ourselves feel better, and we were talking about juicing, and she said, Sian, take your shoes off.
Take your shoes off, yeah.
And she was like, that for me is the be all and end all. Take your shoes off.
It's true. Like, there is a symbiotic relationship between nature and humans, and the truest form of getting it is actually by literally planting your feet and feeling grounded. And for me, I take huge amount of heart in that term, to be grounded. Because that's what I need in my life. I'm a very ADHD person. I'm a frenetic person. I'm full of energy until I need to nap. I give, and then I've no more and I need to recharge. And then I give. I don't do anything on a low frequency. And so for me to actually have something that almost revives me and bumps me back up again, that's nature for me.
Yeah.
It all kind of came tumbling back to me though. My dad got very, very sick in 2018. He had a little skin cancer on his leg. A little skin cancer is what the doctor said. It's only a bit of skin cancer. And they did a surgery on his leg and found that it had gone absolutely buck wild through his body, liver and his lungs. And within 11 days, he was gone. And it was very, very fast, very, very furious. And I suppose, like anybody I'm no one special. Everybody's lost somebody.
Yes.
But for me, it made me really return to nature, because that was what my dad taught me. And I suppose when you do lose somebody, especially in a fast, kind of aggressive way, you try and revert to things that bring you close to them. So I almost went back to all the things that he taught me, things that I learned from him. And that's where nature literally came punching me back in the face. It was almost like, I need you. Mother Nature's like, I need you, but you need me way more.
Yeah.
So come back to me. And I have a little allotment in Bornabrina in the Dublin Mountains. And I swear to God, Sian, I was digging holes for Ireland. Just digging holes. And in those, I can't really remember anything in the 6 months to a year after he passed. My mum will tell you that I was literally just trying to get to China, because I was just digging holes. And when I look back now, like it's 7 years later, I can say, yeah, that's actually physicalizing how I felt inside. I was literally trying to dig this grief out of my body. So I was digging holes and putting seeds into them and planting anything that I could get into the ground, because I knew that I had no control over anything that was happening in my life at that point. I had to go through the motions of grief, but I knew that if I just trusted in nature, she knew what was coming next. And I always kind of use the analogy that if you put a cucumber seed into the ground, it knows to become a cucumber. If you put a kale seed into the ground, it knows to become a kale plant. And I just was like, okay, all I can do is just trust nature. She knows what's coming next. And if I just give all of my grief to her and put it all into the ground, something beautiful will grow from this. And that's kind of what happened.
It's mad, isn't it? Grief is just such a weird thing. I talk about it all the time to people. I think people that haven't experienced deep grief, like you just can't understand it till you felt it. And then it's different for every single person.
It's very different, particularly when it the loss of a parent, especially if it's a parent that you're particularly close to. Me and my dad were thick as thieves, and the fact that it was so fast, the 11 days, like I wrote his eulogy beside his bedside. You know what I mean? It was everything while he was alive, because we knew what was coming. I think for me, I went into a deep freeze for those 6 months to a year, and they kind of say to you not to make any big life choices within that time. And actually, at the time that he was in those 11 days, I was actually interviewing for Chupi.
Oh, wow.
And I ended up having to pull out of the interview process. I said, I know what's coming, and I'm going to remove myself, because I know if I was to get this role with you, I wouldn't be giving you the best of me. And it's funny because I actually said it to her. I was at an event with her a while ago. I said, little do you know, that was me that actually was actually interviewing for you at the time. But it was just one of those kind of strange things, and is one of those pieces of advice that someone gave me, and I would give to anybody who's going through a grief. Like, don't make any decisions that affect your life.
It's
within the first year.
Yeah,
because you don't know your arse from your elbow. And so I was up in the allotment, digging all these holes and pulling plants out like Billy-O. Like anybody who's a gardener will know, you take care of the weeds, you get them out, you drag them out by the scruff of the neck, and then you come back the next day and they've come back and they brought friends, and you drag them out by the scruff of the neck, and the next day the same thing happens. And I kind of had this, I'm not going to call it an epiphany, but I just kind of had this quiet moment with myself where I was like, do you know, the most needy plants that I have in this whole allotment are the ones that I'm cultivating. The tomatoes, you have to pinch this off, you have to take care of this, these need nitrogen, you have to feed these a certain thing, make sure these get water, Whereas the ones that were, no matter how much I battered them,
they were coming back strong.
They were resilient. And that was the weeds.
And we need to just get them in us.
I swear to God. So as I said, the nature thing literally punched me in the face. So I was like, do you know what? I need to learn more about these plants. I feel like they're trying to talk to me. Maybe I was delusional, but I was like, there's something here. And this sent me down a whole journey of studying to become a herbalist. So I started to learn about the wild weeds of Ireland, the stuff that we curse all the time, and started to kind of connect to ancestors and how Manana Hare and the women before us would have worked with the land. And like that again, being grounded and going to the ground, before there was the supermarket and before there was a chemist to go to when you had a headache or a pain or this or that, what did people use? Well, they went to the ground. So I absolutely found so much heart in knowing that actually there's so much here growing around me that I can work with. And COVID then happened, which was great crack for everybody involved.
We loved it.
Loved that for all of us. But I got let go from my job. I was put on the pup like a lot of people. And I started making potions at my kitchen table. So while everyone was doing the banana bread thing, you know, I was literally cauldron. Yeah. And that's how Forager basically was born. I started making little potions, and when COVID lifted and I started doing markets, people were like, "Oh yeah, I'd like that. I'd like one of them." I'm like, "Oh, well,
thank you very much.
Okay, I'll take your money, thank you." And now it's just become my entire life. But my life is in it.
Yes,
I've poured my heart into it. So, and I love that people are responding to it and are going, "Oh yeah, I know what that plant is. Oh, Feebee told me about that one," and are kind of having this and it's not all due to me. I know that people are like, nature is having a revival, which is brilliant. And COVID is part of that, a catalyst for that, because I think people had that, like walking around that 2K, the 5K that we had, and we got very intimate with our local spaces. People were like, oh, I wonder what that plant is. I see it every day. People developed this curiosity because there was nothing else to be looking at.
I think they did as well. And I think that thing of we understand that we need to be better, look after what's around us. And actually the fact that it did used to fix us and we forgot about it. Funnily enough, on the way here, I was listening to a radio show and they were talking about the 4-day work week and have we learned anything? And, you know, people taking time for themselves. Did we learn anything from COVID? Did we learn any? I think people have forgotten, the majority of people have forgotten all the beautiful stuff we learned. And I think businesses like yours and others remind them, because you have to be reminded daily.
I think you're right there, because like you could see during COVID, especially when things moved to hybrid and people were starting to get happier in their environment, not having that commute and all that. And then I was at an event only recently, and one of the women, she's a top HR person in the country, she was like, by the end of this year, 90% of businesses will have returned back to an office environment. I was like, oh my God, have we not learned that people are happier? It's so much kinder on the human spirit.
Yes.
To not be aggressively battering your way in, to be there for 9 o'clock, clocking in, clocking out. Work happens better in an organic way.
It's much more productive in an organic way. However, I do worry about, I work from home. Mm-hmm. Do you work from home as well?
Yes. Well, I work from a field.
Yeah. Well, mine's just in my house. But I do work in a co-working space 1 or 2 days a week because I need people.
Yeah. The interaction.
And I'm like, I even just here, I found the other day, actually, a friend of mine, when we go on holiday, I take my iPad and I go away with my girlfriends and they have music, whatever. Always in my room is the telly. Mm-hmm. And my friend said to me, we were away recently, and she said, you always have that TV on. What? You don't listen to music? I said, I have to have people talking.
The chatter.
I don't know if it's because I grew up in pubs or whatever, but I feel extremely lonely in silence.
Okay.
So I just
understand that.
So it's background white noise to me. As music,
you're not even listening to it. It's just there. It's just part of your personal soundtrack of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's only been in the last sort of 6 months I've really started thinking about it. Like, why do I need that? But I really do
it's kind
like
of all
it.
You've known though, really, isn't it? Like if that is what your baseline is.
Yeah.
Then why wouldn't you? Like just enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think whatever gets you through.
Yes, I completely with you.
Play your telly in the background, do whatever gets you through. Like I do feel like, especially in the mindful sphere, there's an awful lot of, turn your screens off, do this, do that, do this, do that. Listen, anything for an easy life and anything that gets you through, I feel like live and let live. Let people find their baseline. There's no right or wrong answer. There's no one size fits all when it comes to, for me, wellness and mindfulness. I find it very hard to meditate, but walking in nature with my dog, I come back, like that's my meditation.
And mine is movement.
100.
It's the only time I don't think of anything else.
Yeah. So like, I think we all have our thing that, and once you find it, if you can just tune into that and tap into it when you need it and know that it's like one of these tools that you have to help you, I think that's kind of a bit of a sweet spot, isn't it? Like that.
Oh, massive.
Yeah. And especially if it's something that you can just go and do. You don't have to go and pay to go and do it. You don't have to go off to book into a class. It's just something that's accessible to you, like that, a walk in nature, you getting out your mat, doing your movement. Exactly, that you feel that's my thing.
Yeah. Finding
your thing is, I think, half the battle.
I completely agree. A lot of my thing as well has taken me back to my childhood. And actually, I suppose yours has too. That's where it kind of started. Did you used to go like hunting with your dad as well? Was it the stories that he told?
It was more the stories. Like he wouldn't bring us out actually into, because we were loud and kids jumping around. And if you're out trying to, fish or whatever, you probably want something quite peaceful. But no, it was more the stories that he would come back with. But we had a family mobile home in Wexford, and we still have one to this day. And to me, that's still my very, very happy soul place.
Yeah.
And so when we'd be down there, we'd be always outdoors. And we were definitely the kids that were told, out the door you get now and don't be coming back till the lights are on.
Oh, yeah.
We'd be handed our dinner on a fork as we passed by the door. Do you know what I mean? We were outdoor kids.
Yeah.
We were climbing trees. We were.
And you close in age, you and Emmett?
Yeah, well, 4.5 years of a difference.
Okay.
4.5 years. But like we were outdoors all the time. Like we weren't indoors kids at all. And even when we were living in back at home for the rest of the year, we had, like, I lived on a street with loads of kids, a Gansey load of kids, and sure, it was kick the can, playing outdoors all day.
Were you in the city?
Long. Fair House. So I'm from Fair House, yeah. And so we were always out playing, and like those people that I grew up with then in Wexford and on the street, we're still friends to this day.
That's mad.
Which is mad. It is mad. Like, but like it's one of those things that we've all had this really outdoor, you know, playing until the street lights come on. Yeah. Don't be coming back. Very different.
I know. They still do it actually where I live down in Cork. I live in an estate, and sometimes I like to go to bed at 9. And
you can still hear them.
There's a guy with the slitter off the wall next to my house. He might as well be clicking that against my front door. And I'm like, for God's sake. But you're like, Sian, it's light. And actually, do you know what? I might moan about him. When I leave, I will give him a gift, because actually I'd rather see that.
Well, I tell you what about having kids playing on your road. You won't have your house broken into during the daytime while there's kids playing on your road, because those kids are the eye in the sky. They know exactly who's coming, who's going. What are you doing there, mister? Who are you going? That's my cousin's house, or that's my auntie's house. No one's going near your house when there's a Gansey load of kids on your road.
And as a kid, did you do the shop over here? Or
we had lemonade machines. We had made magazines. We put on shows. We did absolutely everything. We did Olympics every year. Listen, we running around playing all games all the time. But like that again, those people, we're still friends. And if we were ever to meet up for a pint or whatever, we talk about those days. It's a total memory lane thing. And it's really, really nice, because we had these shared experiences.
Yeah, it's nothing like a bit of nostalgia as well. And
absolutely.
Just makes it's that nice feeling, isn't it? A warm feeling in the belly, like reminiscing about those times.
I actually had one experience last year. My friend Kieran, he lives in Dubai. And like that, he was one of my friends from Wexford, and we grew up together. And when we were brought up, my dad was a great musician, so we were brought up playing music and singing all the time. Yeah. And we were the kids who were brought to a pub, you know. And there was, it could have been 11 o'clock at night. You'd be falling asleep on your mum's lap with a blanket, with someone's jacket over you, a bottle of bubble up and 6 glasses between a Gansey load of kids, and you'd be walking around with your package of Crips, walking around with them in your fist. But we were brought up like that, and last year we went up to the local pub in Wexford where we would have hung out as kids with my parents. And Kieran's little girl, this is during the daytime, he was having a pint, his wife was there, and his little girl fell asleep in his arms outside, and he was like, this is like a rite of passage, because I was this kid falling asleep in my daddy's arms. And it was just one of those kind of little moments. And I suppose if you were to break it down to brass tacks, here's a child falling asleep in the pub, maybe take the child home from the pub. No, it was a little glimmer back to
I love that.
This wholesomeness that we actually had, because my parents weren't going to the boozer to get boozed. It was a musical thing. Like they were all played. My dad was like a trad session musician, so he played bodhrán and fiddle and banjo and bodhrán, and so there was always singing, always music. And this is like still a huge part of my life, because I sing, and music is a huge part of what and there's like you're saying, having chatter, music is always on in my life. And we were brought up singing all these songs, and sure, if there was ever a party, or you know, if the aunties came over, it was an Alcamalia, we were doing the Walls of Limerick up the hall, or somebody was sing us now song there, you know. And we were all kind of taught to churn out a Christy Moore at a moment's notice.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and that's that was my pub experience. I don't remember my parents ever being drunk. I remember them singing, and the music, and the camaraderie, and their friends, and this beautiful collective of sound. And that's, to me, is special.
Is coming back as well. Like, actually, I was at a family party last weekend, and there was a big seat. And as we got there, a couple of the smaller ones, so like 4, my nieces, I was like, look, they can lie there, and we put the jackets over, because that's how the same. We grew up like that. But my friend, she's much younger. She's 25 years younger than me. And she was like, she'd bought this really good buggy, and they'd just come back from Spain. And she was like, her daughter was just like a little Spanish baby. Do you know what I mean? She'd got a little bit of a tan and everything. She said, this pram is brilliant. She slept everywhere. And you can pull this down, Sian. And And I said, they actually make the prams now so that you can go and social,
be social,
and social and meet people. Because I think we've got used to that again. Well, I hope we have.
Like, there's a lot. I think there's a bit to be said for it. Like, it didn't do me any harm. I'm sure it didn't do you any harm.
For me.
And as I said, those kids that I ran around with in those pubs, these are our stories. These are a part of our childhood. We talk about these things all the time. We're still friends to this day because we have this shared experience. And to me, like, I look back and go, I had the best childhood.
Yeah.
I loved those days.
And you're obviously like very close. At what age did you move out of home?
There was a couple of move out times, backs and forths and backs and forths. Like the first time I went away, I would have been 23. I went off to New Zealand.
Oh, amazing.
And then I was back, and then I went back again, and then I was back, and then I lived in Wexford for a few years. So I've been kind of all around Mars Moon.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky. I'm very, very close to my parents. Well, my dad's passed now, but I'm still super, super close to my mum. She's my bestie pal. Do you know what I mean? And we will do all the things together.
Yeah. So how did you cope being in New Zealand? It's quite a distance.
It was. And actually, I found that quite hard, being someone who's so bonded to their parents, that when your time zone is 12, 13 hours of indifference, that if you get homesick in the middle of the night, you're on your own. You have to wait until 12 hours later until they wake up. Do you know what I mean? Because you're on a completely flip of time. So I found that really, really tough.
Did you go by yourself or with friends?
First time I went with a dreaded ex. Let's call him the dreaded ex. And then the next time I went away, I went with friends.
Okay.
So I've been, and I have my aunt and uncle lived in New Zealand for a good long while. So they hooked me up with friends of theirs and Kiwis are brilliant because they're almost like Irish people. They just welcome you in and come on and stay in our house and sure, come on. It's such and such's birthday. Come on. You're like, I don't know who any of these people are, but yeah, okay, I'll go. So it was really, really lovely, like to have that kind of.
And were you working out there?
Yeah, I was working I worked both times, like call centre-y jobs. I was in my early 20s. You do a bit and then you move on. You do a bit and move on.
Don't you think all those jobs, though, they all come back as a small business owner now? Like the call centre job, definitely useful.
Absolutely.
the selling lemonade on the side of the street, definitely useful.
Transferable skills. Because
100%.
you have to stop people on the street who are on their way to the shop to buy the lemonade to try and sell them lemonade that you bought and now after putting a price on, you're only giving them in a plastic cup. Absolutely. Like all of these little life experiences. Like I all of my jobs that I've done, I've worked, I kind of, when I think back on it, like I'm 44 now. And when I think back on it, I've had such a cross section of roles. Like I ran an opticians. I ran a Vision Express opticians when I was 26. I had no business running an optician with a staff of 18 at 26. Absolutely no business.
Yeah.
Running a staff of that many. But I learned. My first job I ever did, it was in Barrett's shoes when I started on my 16th birthday. I was working from the day I was legally allowed to work. I started that job, and so I was from selling shoes, then working in Dunn's, working and running the opticians, all the different things that I'd done. Then I went into I studied journalism and media.
Yes.
So I've always loved writing and storytelling and that kind of thing, and visuals. So I studied journalism, and that then kind of led me to work for different companies in kind of branding, brand identity, brand comms, telling the story of a brand. Before brand identity was really a thing, it was...
But it never had a title, did it? I think clever people did it always, but it never had a title.
Absolutely. It was considered PR.
Yeah, it's like personal branding. People talk, it's a keyword all the time, whatever. But it's always existed. It used to be called reputation.
Yeah.
But now it's called personal branding.
It wasn't. I wasn't identifiable as a thing. It wasn't a thing. So but I always loved that whole thing of crafting shape around something. Yeah. So like the jobs that I went into then in my kind of adult life were always around comms, PR, brand identity. I'm a graphic designer as well, so I had that lovely ability, which is it's not all that common, where you could take an idea and be a creative, come up with it, write it, and design it.
So did you do Forager?
Yeah, everything in Forager is all my from the labels, all the everything. Yeah, everything. And I suppose I don't think that's something I could just hand over to somebody else, because my brain is so that I need to get what's in my head out onto.
And did you know when you're at that table and you're mixing away at your kitchen table, could you visualise Forager at that first stage?
Forager didn't even have a name
Okay.
at that stage. And I remember contacting two of my friends, Lynn and Lozzie, and they're both marketing queens. And I remember saying, guys, I'm going to do a market. I'm going to do a farmer's market. I need to and I'm going to bring all these little jars. I need to come up with a name for this. And they were like, oh, let us have a think about it. And we were going to kind of do a bit of a powwow. And then I just messaged them one day and I was like, Forager, that's it. It's done. I just literally, it fell out of my face because people were saying, oh, Feebee Forager, Feebee the Forager. And I was like, it's Forager. It's Forager. There isn't another way around this.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my God, it's perfect. It's perfect. We don't even need to have this meeting. It's done. It's done. And yeah, so it just fell together one day. And me being, I suppose as part of the ADHD thing is being hyperfixated on things that once you get an idea into your head, you have to do it all. Like I've never thought about doing something and then said, oh yeah, I'll figure that out in 6 months. No, by that night, you better believe it's done, boxed off, signed off and donezoed.
Feebee, we are sisters. We are sisters.
I won't sleep otherwise.
No, I'm exactly the same.
Absolutely won't sleep otherwise, and you just get absolutely sucked into something. But it's I was excited.
Yeah.
And like when I'm in that mode, I'm so excited to see it. And
how many projects do you start with?
One.
Okay,
Daisy
what
Balm.
was it?
That
Daisy
was made
Balm?
with daisies.
Okay.
So that's for bites and stings and bruises. That's the heal-all. And then I was literally making that during COVID and leaving it on people's doorsteps. And people were messaging me on my Instagram going, oh God, I'd love one of them. Would you, can you make me one of them next time? And I was doing like 6 pots at a time, little tiny, little honey pots. You know, the ones that you get when you're in the hotels. And I was cutting up little bits of fabric and tying string around them and making them look pretty. Oh, I thought it was the business.
And writing a 1-page essay
little
to
bit,
send
apply
it.
this to that and whatever. And then me and Sika, my dog, we would go and like it was COVID, we were leaving them on people's doorsteps. You know, we'd go for a walk and leave them on people's doorsteps. And so then when I was like, God, if I'm going to do a market, I'll have to make a few other things. So I made one for psoriasis and then I made one for piles, would you believe? Because there's a plant that actually is for piles. Yeah, it grows in springtime. It's called lesser celandine and the root looks like piles.
Listen, I'm away with the girls next week. I think of a couple of my mates that need that one.
I called it Mum Bum.
Excellent.
So I think I brought like 3 or 4 to my first ever market. And I remember, Sian, I walked away from that market going, oh my God. I went in going, if few people buy, I'd be delighted. And I walked away with €330 going, I'm in business.
I'm in business.
I thought this €330 was the best thing since sliced bread because it meant people believed in me.
Yeah.
It's not because of the value of the money. It was like people wanted to buy this. And from there on, I like the hyperfixation took over. I was like, I need to look at new jars. I need to do this. It has to be better than it is. And then everything just kind of, I don't know. I started looking at jars and labels and creating and my colour palette and all the things that I would have done in other jobs. I was like, well, listen, if I've done all of this for other people.
Time to do it for me.
Time to bring it in-house. Time to do it for myself. And like things that I'd learned, like you need to have a brand identity, you need to have a brand book, you need to have this, your colour scheme. I was like, I'm just going to go by the formulas that I've always done for everybody else and apply it to myself. And if I don't give myself the hell for leather that I've given to everybody else, to my own brand, well, more fool me. So I was like, I'm going to literally do this like a maniac. So I was working, I got the COVID lifted. I was back working for Juvie, who are a beautiful Irish jewellery company.
Yes.
Most gorgeous place to work. And I was working all day, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and coming home every night, creating over the pot, stirring. And then every weekend in a market. On a Saturday, Mountain View, I've done that a number of times.
Beautiful.
Every market, across Ireland, I was working like a maniac, but I couldn't stop because I believed in this so much that I was like, I have to be doing this. And it was funny to be kind of working for a full-time job for another company, giving it all, giving everything that you have there, and then going home and giving everything to yourself as well. But with Juvie, they were such dreams because they started their business at their kitchen table. And Julie, the Jew of Juvie, and Vincent is the V of Vincent of Juvie. They started theirs at a kitchen table. So Julie would be messaging me going, Feebee, I'm after seeing this tablecloth. This would be great for your market. I'm after finding this. Oh, see this stand over here? We don't use that anymore. Why don't you take this for your market? And to have a business that you're working for, literally
Invest in.
You have this, you've got this, keep going. And when it eventually came to me leaving to go and take that, awful step to go work full time for myself, which is horrific.
It's a hard step, but it's such an exciting step.
Oh, it's exciting, but to only have ever earned a salary where you know how much is coming into your bank every month, and then that money is allocated to the rent, to the this, to the that, the car loan, all the bits. Then all of a sudden I am jumping off a cliff and I'm just going to hope this works.
Yeah.
That I have enough money to pay all these people every month. And like Julie said to me, Phoebe, if it doesn't work, there's always going to be a place here for you.
And if you don't jump, you never know. You
Absolutely.
can't actually know until you jump. And I say this to people all the time. Lots of people ring me and say, I need to move into my business. How do I do it? And I'm like, what do you mean, how do you do it? Leap. Just jump.
And there's no right time.
I'm too scared.
There's no right time.
There isn't, because it'll always be the excuse of, I'll do that when this
after
happens.
Christmas,
and
after this, or after
January the 1st, February the 1st.
Now.
Yeah, it has to be.
Now, when you think about it for more than 2 seconds, that's the time.
Yeah.
When you think for more than 2 seconds that I need to do this, that's the time.
And I know a lot of people will be listening to this that have, are doing the markets and have a beautiful brand, and I think that is the best way to start, by the way, because I love the fierce market research you get from that. People are so open and you're having discussions every day. I love to see the makers in shops and stuff like that, because people actually get real feedback, real time. So I love all of that. But when does it go from, okay, I've got the market research, I'm loving the brand, I've done everything that I needed to do, I want to take it up a level and I want to see other people selling it for me. Mm-hmm. That's another leap. That's
a huge step.
Yeah.
And one, for you mentally to do it, but also to actually the physicality of it and the actual logistics of it all. For me, that came with Showcase.
Brilliant.
Doing Showcase, and I'm really well supported by my local enterprise office. I'm part of Leo South Dublin, who are, I will arguably say, are the best in Ireland. And because they're so invested in what I do and they believe in me, which is great. But I did Showcase, and I went to Showcase in January 2023 with no stockists. I was a market girl. And I walked away from Showcase January 2023, with 40 stockists. Oh,
can you just say that again?
Yeah.
So you went in with none, you left with
40.
And all confirmed.
All confirmed, all orders.
I have to do that because, I think there's two reasons. Because that's why I met you the first time. And I know why you did. Because you're amazing. Forager is you. I hadn't met you before. I walked away not forgetting you. Do you know what I mean? And I think a lot of people, because I go to Showcase every year, and sometimes I'm like, oh God, this is such a great product. But I see this little L-shaped box and there's a person standing behind it, and you were just, hi.
Well, I suppose this is part of it. One, everything I do in my life is done with passion. I can't, and I can't not. That's just who I am. My dad used to say that I'd never entered a room that I'd explode into them. That's just the person that I am. But I genuinely think if you're going to put yourself out there to do big events, trade shows, and you're investing in it, because these things cost money, my God, you have to literally be the business, be the brand, and literally embody what you want people to feel.
Yeah.
And so, like that again, I probably headlocked you, gave you a snog, and
I don't think it was tongues, actually.
That's to say, I will lick eyeballs and kiss babies.
But I know where I met you, how I met you. Do you know what I mean? You were in my head. I'm like, this is just beautiful. And then and like the law of attraction, then I just see you everywhere. But there's and it's a really important message for people to understand, because it doesn't just happen.
No, it doesn't.
You have to embody it. And that product range is part of you. It's part of your DNA. But you're just such an amazing front for it. You really are.
Gosh, thanks so much.
No, you are though. You really are. And everybody I speak, if I say to everybody, "Oh, Phoebe," was like, "Oh, I love her. She's so upbeat, and she always makes you feel great about yourself." And it's such an important. But it's like,
I'm I feel that people tend to match energies, and I'm magnetized to people who operate on that frequency. So that's why me and you have always got on.
And like, I just got visions of us scrambling to get into a room.
and Jenny Johnson.
Yes,
I adore her.
Yeah.
There's people in this world that I think we'll always find each other in a room.
Yeah.
There's a showcase, and I've seen it 100 times now. Like, I've been showcasing a couple of years now, and at this stage, I help other small businesses. If they're coming in to showcase, I'll give them a call and say, listen, here's some pointers. The first year that I did it like that again, I walked away with 40 stockists, but there was a woman who was on the other side of the room to me, another skincare brand, and I could see her because we were opposite each other. And for the whole 3 days, she sat at the back like a little timid mouse. And this is just her personality. That's who she is. But she would come over to me and go, I must be in the wrong place. I see you're really busy all the time and no one's coming over to my stand, and I don't know why. They must have put me in the wrong positioning. And I'm like, maybe stand.
Yeah.
I always say at trade events,
if I see anybody stand behind a counter, I drag them out.
I say sitting is quitting.
Yeah.
That's like, you're already showing them that you have sat down on your business. And for me, I need to be all singing, all dancing, performing, saying hi. I'm a touchy-feely mauler of a person. I need to be having that tactility, that interaction, the shaking of hands, patting of the shoulder. How are you doing?
Putting Forager on it.
Come here to me and give us a snog. My friends say I lick eyeballs because I'm like, come here to me. I just want to give you a squeeze.
But it's important. But you make people remember. You make people believe. You make people feel good, and everything in life is about feelings. Like, I don't care if you're selling gold dust, whatever. If it doesn't make me, if you don't make me feel good, I'm not buying it anyway.
Mm.
The only thing I ever take to like the RDS is 3 pairs of shoes. Because I believe I'm 100% the same as you. You never sit down. You always stand in front of your counter. You be the first port of call, and just change your shoes, because you need to change your shoes, guys, because your feet just kill.
They kill, but you need to have the shoes there for the photographs. Then you need to have the ones for the running around. Yes. And then you have to have the ones that are going to get you for unloading the car in and out.
For me, that's trainers.
Yeah. A multiple collective of trainers.
So who sells your product now?
We're stocked in over 100 stores in Ireland now. So like from the likes of all the Meadows and Burns, we're in all of those stores, and they are so good to us. We are in all the Foxfords.
Lovely.
So we're coming into the one in Dundrum now soon enough. But then we are stocked all over the place. Generally beautiful, I like to say beautiful, sustainably led, female-led stores. So like in Dublin, we're in like Project 29. We're in just beautiful stores all over the country. I'm very, very lucky with my stockists. We're in 12 stores in the States. Like that again, all beautifully crafted, Irish-based stores that have like that focus on promoting good, strong Irish craft.
And will you be affected by tariffs?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, like so far we have been doing okay, but listen, all is up in the air with the orange one. As a result, like we had a huge export plan based on the States. That's now I've had to completely pivot, and now we're moving towards, I suppose, let's call it the lower hanging fruit, UK and Northern Ireland.
Yes.
So we are now going into our UK era, and we're doing 2 international events now. Based in our UK stockists over the next 6 months. So we've had to pivot based on that, because it really, everything is changing on a dime. So you just have to be able to be, and I suppose that's the nice thing about being a small business. You do have that ability
and you can make decisions quickly. Yeah,
to be agile and to be able to go, actually, do you know what other options have we got here? And I've been really, really supported by the likes of the Leo and Intertrade Ireland, which is Intertrade is one that not many Irish makers are very, very aware of.
Into.
And it is one that I have been hugely supportive of, particularly in the last 6 months. So they're helping me like to navigate that change of trading between Ireland, Northern Ireland and the UK, because it's a minefield.
Yeah.
And between legislation, the revenue side of things, hiring, it's a huge minefield, and a lot of even Irish accountants don't know the lay of the land.
No, they don't.
So having like this body who are like, let's do this, we've got you, let's do this, and they're so enthusiastic to help this cross-border trading, help me to navigate this and give me right advice.
The local chambers are very good as well.
Brilliant.
They really want to help. And I see you in Shannon Airport as well.
Yes.
I love Shannon Airport. I fly out of it as often as I can. Obviously, I'm right round the corner from Cork, which I love too. But I do love Shannon Airport
Shannon
because
it's like we got into Shannon at the start of this year, and we have been literally flying down there. And the team in Shannon Airport, I suppose it being such a small airport, the same staff have been there for years.
Yeah.
And people who travel frequently from Shannon, they know them. It's almost like going into your local supermarket where you know the people who are behind the till and you have the chats. And they trust the team.
The best stock.
Oh my gosh. Helen Quinlivan, who's the buyer down there, she's just on top of her game. She's worked there for years. She knows what the customer who goes through there is looking for. And it's been absolutely fantastic. I've been doing lots of Meet the Makers and up and down to Shannon. And anytime they ask me, I'm like, yes, I'll come.
Well, next time you have to stop off at Cork on the way back.
Listen, I absolutely will. I'm going to be down there in Ballymaloe for the Christmas festival this year. I'll be down there, so I'll be into you.
Amazing. So, listen, what is next for Forager and for you, most importantly?
Oh gosh, so there's two things. One is the UK market that we're moving into, but also I'm developing an ESG business, secondary business.
Okay.
Yeah, which is as I'm a grower, I truly believe in the effect that growing and having this connection to the earth can have on your mental health. I know it firsthand.
Yes.
So about 2 years ago, along with the man who owns my allotments, Jimmy Phibbs, we launched a community project called Grow a Lot, where we gave away 10 allotment beds. And the reason we did that is because currently the waiting list in Dublin for an allotment is 4 years. So we said, well, look, now I tell you, this conversation happened by WhatsApp over a few drinks in two different parts of Spain. I was in Caruela. He was in Madeira or somewhere else, Murcia, and the two of us had a few drinks and we were WhatsApping each other. Well, we do. Let's make something happen. And by the next morning, Grow a Lot was born. I had the logo built. Everything was done. And we were sponsored by Lidl, Timber Trove, GIY, Grow HQ. So we gave away 10 allotment beds on a 1 year, like a 1 year growing program to give people an opportunity to flirt with the idea of growing, because taking on an allotment is a big job. People like to have the idea that where
Massive
they go,
commitment.
Do you know what, I can do that. I can absolutely do that. But then they go, Jeannie Mac, that's an awful lot of work. So we gave away these small beds, and the people who came on at the first year, of the 100 applicants that we received in, every single one of them was for mental health reasons. I thought it was going to be for people going, oh, I don't have a garden, I live in an apartment, I've rented accommodation. Absolutely not. These are all people who needed it for their mental health. And when I tell you the shift in, and this isn't just me speaking on behalf of these people, they've all spoke out about it, how it has absolutely changed their perspective, their connection with community, the friendships that they have developed, how it's given them clarity, that peace internal. It's been absolutely brilliant. So this year again, we launched it again, and we have a whole new group of growers who are growing at the moment. So if you're interested in that, please do get involved next year, because we'll do it again in spring. But as a result from this, the learning that I've had is that there are so many more people who need access to the soil. And for a country that has lots of land, unless it's your own land, you can't grow. So I'm currently developing a program with Collectivo. Laura McDermott from Collectivo, to develop this project where we are going to be introducing allotments into corporates. So businesses that have a roof, they might have a car park, they might have a little internal
We have a wonderful
space.
rooftop garden down in Cork.
Well, so
beautiful.
What we would do is Collectivo are ESG specialists, so they would come in, help a company to figure out how they can really realign all of their sustainable practices. And then Forager comes in, we build the allotments, we teach your staff, we help them put the seeds in the ground, we teach them how to harvest, and then everything becomes trackable from biodiversity, what new bugs are coming into your land, the soil changes, and then also there's the mental health aspect for your teams, because
it's a great idea.
So there's it's like a 5-prong attack that will help people: mental health, biodiversity, sustainable practices, and then also the likes of the harvests that are grown can be donated to local food banks. So it's helping to bring this aspect of growing out of the hills into community. Yeah.
I love
so
it.
That's the next big baby for.
Okay, so she's not busy at all.
Not at all.
That's amazing. And what about you? What do you do just for you?
Oh gosh, it's funny because my happy place is in nature. So that's what I do. Me and my dog, and I have a beautiful dog called Sika. He's a whippet boy, and he is my mental health.
I love it.
He's my mental health. But I'm very, very lucky that I have a deadly collection of humans. It's a skill that I have. And I am surrounded by incredible friends. I love to belly laugh until there's mascara and snots all over my face. That's what I do. So like that again, I was away for a wedding at the weekend with my friends, and when I tell you the crack that was had. So when I'm on downtime, I just want to either be in nature, be with my dog, or be with my friends. And I think that's like the easy things.
The perfect three. So you just finished with a lovely question from the last guest. We will turn that over. What does it say?
Who has been the single biggest influence in your life and why? Okay, I'm going to say my mama bear. Me and my mom we're so bonded, and the older that I get, the more I realise. I used to always think I was this image and the makeup of my father.
Yeah.
I'm seeing more and more how much I'm actually of my mum. I come from her side of the family are Dublin inner city storytellers, and they're just a beautifully bond family, and I'm very open, and there's no airs and graces. Like I'll tell you, my mum, if I'd come down, if I was going to a ball or an event, I'd come down and my mum would say, I'd say, do I look nice? My mum would say, you're grand. There's no airs and graces. No one's getting a big head in my family. And I think that that's been really, really grounding for me to be from a family and that are like that there's no, aren't you brilliant now? It's like, you're grand. Up you get now. Yeah. Off you go. But my mum is my best pal in the world. We do everything together. She puts up with all of my madness, and she listens to all of my foibles and all of my ADHD madness. And at the end of the day, she says, you're grand. Off you go. Now keep going. That's the idea I want to go with. Off you go and do it. So she's the best. And she sings ABBA.
Oh, we love her already.
So she's a musical influence as well. So she sings, she loves ABBA. So we just sing ABBA all the time.
Amazing. Well, listen, I think you're grand too. Thank you so much for coming on today. I bloody love that, girl. Thank you.
Love you.
Hi, and thank you for joining me for this week's episode of BeBelle Podcast. If you have any thoughts, questions, or feedback for us, we always love for you to get involved. And you can find us on Instagram at BeBelle_podcast. Don't forget, though, that if you want to watch these episodes, you can see them all on my YouTube channel, Sian Horn. And don't forget to follow and subscribe. The more people that follow and subscribe, the better it is for the podcast, the more that we can improve future and going forward. So, with that being said, thank you so much for following BeBelle, and I hope you enjoy these next episodes.